Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving deep into something I think we can all relate to: stress.
That's right. And we're not just talking about everyday anxieties here.
We're going beyond, equipping you with practical tools and techniques to manage stress.
Exactly. Think of it as building your own personal stress-busting toolkit, and we're giving you the tools.
Love that analogy.
Yep.
So, no more feeling powerless against stress. Let's take control, shall we?
Absolutely. And a great place to start is by understanding what triggers those stress responses in the first place.
Okay, so like what sets us off? Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly. It's like a detective game, figuring out what sets off those internal stress alarms.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I like a good detective story. Tell me more about these triggers.
Well, there are actually two main types, internal triggers and external triggers.
Okay, so break those down for me.
So external triggers are the more obvious ones. Think deadlines at work, that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Work stuff definitely gets to me sometimes.
Right. Or like being stuck in traffic, or even just having a super packed schedule.
Oh yeah, the dreaded overflowing inbox. I feel the bait.
Exactly. Those are all classic external triggers. But then we have the sneakiest culprits, internal triggers.
Oh, okay, those sound interesting. What are some examples of internal triggers?
Well, think about negative self-talk, that inner critic that just won't quit.
Oh wow, yeah, that voice can be so loud sometimes.
Yeah, it really can. And it can really ramp up those stress levels. Or even something like perfectionism.
Perfectionism. Okay, yeah, I can see how always striving for the unattainable would be stressful.
Right, it's exhausting. And you know what? Even just feeling hungry can be an internal trigger for some people.
Seriously,
Yeah.
hunger is a trigger. Never thought about that, but it makes so much sense.
Right. Your blood sugar drops, and suddenly everything feels 10 times more stressful.
Totally. So how do we actually figure out what our own personal triggers are? You got any tips?
Absolutely. Journaling can be a game changer here. But don't just jot down stressful situations.
Oh. So what should we be writing down?
After a stressful moment, take a minute and write down what was happening right before you felt that surge of stress.
What was happening before? Okay, I like that. So it's about identifying the patterns, right?
Exactly. Once you know your triggers, you can start to anticipate and manage them better.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But what about those times when, even if we know our triggers, we're still feeling that stress creep in? What's a quick and easy way to dial things down in the moment?
Oh, in those moments, deep breathing is your best friend. And no, I don't just mean taking a couple of deep breaths. I mean really focusing on your breath.
Yeah, deep breathing. It sounds almost too simple, but I've heard it really works.
Oh, it's incredibly powerful because when you take those slow, deep breaths, you're actually activating your parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay, you're going to have to break that down for me a bit. The parasympathetic.
Mm.
What does that even do?
So your nervous system has two modes. The sympathetic nervous system, think fight or flight.
Right. Our body's stress response.
Exactly. And then there's the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and digest response.
Okay, so it's like flipping a switch from stressed out to chilled out.
Exactly. And guess what? Deep breathing. It's like hitting that switch.
Wow, I never realized it was actually impacting my nervous system.
It really is that powerful. And the best part, you can practice deep breathing anytime, anywhere.
Okay, I'm down for a little deep breathing right now. What do I do?
Perfect. So try this with me and everyone listening. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 2, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 6.
Exhales. Wow, I already feel my shoulders relaxing a little.
See, it's amazing what just a few deep breaths can do.
That's incredible. Simple, but so effective.
Okay.
So we've tackled triggers, we've breathed deep. What's next in our stress-busting arsenal?
All right, well, next up, we're talking about harnessing the power of physical activity.
Yes, let's move that body. I'm all about a good workout to blow off some steam.
Right. And before anyone starts thinking they need to run a marathon,
We're not talking about becoming Olympic athletes overnight.
not at all.
Yeah.
This is about finding what feels good for your body and what you can realistically incorporate into your routine.
Absolutely. Even a quick walk in nature can totally shift my mindset.
I love that. And there's actually science behind why that works so well.
Oh, tell me more.
So exercise releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals in our brain.
Endorphins, right? They're like natural
Yeah.
mood boosters, yeah.
Exactly. And not only that, but physical activity also gives your mind a break from whatever's stressing you out.
It's like hitting the reset button.
Hmm.
I love that. Okay, next up on our stress-busting journey, and this one can be tough,
What's that?
seeking support. Because it's so easy to isolate when we're stressed, but it's often the opposite of what we need, right?
100%. Talking to someone you trust, a friend, family member, a therapist even, can make a world of difference.
Totally. Sometimes just saying things out loud can help us gain perspective.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? When we're stressed, it's like we're wearing these blurry glasses. Talking to someone helps us see things more clearly.
Yeah, I like that analogy. And plus, it's a good reminder that we don't have to go through tough times alone.
Exactly. And finally, we can't talk about stress management without talking about self-care.
Yes, self-care is not selfish. It's an essential part of a healthy life. Full stop.
Couldn't agree more. It's about intentionally incorporating things into your routine that nourish your mind, body, and soul.
And it's different for everyone, right?
Hmm?
What brings me joy might be different from what brings you joy.
Exactly. For you, it might be a hot bath and a good book. For someone else, it might be going on a hike.
Totally. It's about figuring out what makes you feel recharged, and then here's the key, actually doing those things regularly.
And remembering that self-care isn't a one-time thing, it's an ongoing practice, just like managing stress.
Love that. So to recap, we've got 5 amazing tools for your stress management toolkit. Identifying triggers, mastering deep breathing, getting that body moving, seeking support when you need it, and prioritizing self-care.
Exactly. And remember, managing stress is a journey, not a destination. Be kind to yourself, celebrate those small victories, and experiment with these tools to discover what works best for you.
Such great advice. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into stress management. Until next time.